close, it's time to hear a little wisdom for your ear. Two thoughts dancing in the air with announcements bold and rare. Announcements and two thoughts, the groove you didn't know you sought. Words that twist and tie the plot. Come and vibe with what we've got.
Weird. Yeah, it's weird. This is the soul version. Soul
The mic
version.
is hot, the vibe is right. We spark the mind at night and night. A soulful chat, a clever play, keeps you coming back each day.
Yeah, no.
It's a rhythm, it's a
You know, you know what is? I was going to use the word shocking, and it's not shocking. Boy, AI is not good at lyrics at all. Like, they're terrible, just terrible. Like, if that was playing in the background, like a supermarket, you'd be like, whatever. But if you actually listen to it, it's just awful lyrics, just terrible, 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 terrible. Happy Monday, yeah. So. Let me tell. Oh, first of all, had concessions a couple days ago. It's Sunday. I'm recording this on a Sunday. Had concessions a couple days ago. I again thank you guys for helping. It's the worst part of concessions for me is grilling all the meat. Like, and if that's the worst part, that means you guys are doing an awesome job. You really are. Like, I don't want that to go unnoticed. Those of you who help with concessions, like I said, like too many times. You're doing a good job. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're taking it seriously, but not too seriously. Yeah. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thanks for making summer concessions fun and interesting. I appreciate it. And those freshmen that are doing it, I know most of you who have been doing it are also in mariachi, so I kind of already also know you, but not really, because I only saw you once a week. It's nice to get to know some of you, though you aren't talking to me very much. I yelled Marco 3 times before someone finally went Polo. You get it. You'll break out of your shell eventually. I know you think I think we caught the one the other day. I said something, and one of the freshman girls was like, "Awkward." Yeah, I think Jaden's like, "Yeah, you think? Like, get over it. This is how things work." So the other thing, besides a half marathon, if you've noticed, see that? There's a Band-Aid on this one. Well, not on that, but up here there's one. And I've got a scrape here, and I've got one on my... Gonna guess what happened? Some of you know what happened. So I've been doing this half marathon training, which is... I mean, I'm doing it, and it's not going well this week. So here, I'll pull up. You can't see it, but I can see it. You know, my... I used to saying I'm to training schedule because it sounds so serious. It's not. I've been okay. So Monday, it's a Monday through Sunday thing because the half marathon I'm going to do is on a Sunday, so I'm ending every week on a Sunday. Monday did great. Tuesday did great. Wednesday I was going to take the bike out because it's supposed to be cross training on Wednesday, and I told you last week I ain't swimming, so I'll bike. It was raining, so I couldn't bike. So later in the afternoon, I ended up running because I just flip-flopped my Wednesday and Thursday. Supposed to run Thursday, bike on Wednesday. I flipped them. So Thursday morning, I got up at like 5:30. It stopped raining. Put my bike in the car. Now, I took the bike out a week ago when I first got it, just to make sure it's working and kind of check out that yellow smoke path. So this is the first like legit time I'm going to bike. And my plan was to take 2 laps around that thing, which it's 4 miles. So that'd be 8 miles. So 8 miles of biking. Pro tip, if you're going to bike around yellow smoke, go counterclockwise. It's a little less... It's the same hills, but their steeper ones are down and the more gentle ones are up, going that direction. So again, the pavement's wet. Some of you know where this is going already. So I can make a full lap around, no problems at all. I'm being careful. I'm not going too fast. I get a little cocky the second time around. Going down, if you know that path, I've passed to where I got off on 6th Avenue North, where that shelter is, and I'm going up around, and I come down a hill, and then you turn a corner. And I was a little too fast, and the bike got off the path. It got onto the grass, which wasn't the problem. The problem was if I was smart, I would have stopped, put the bike back on the path, and kept going. But I made this decision. I can just get back on the path. And as soon as I turned the handlebars to go back the path, I went, well, that was stupid because the cement's like that high, much higher than the ground, and it's wet. So my bike hit the wheel, hit the side of that thing, and just ate asphalt. I'm lucky this is all that happened, to be honest, because this was worse. So I talked to Mr. Meyer and Mr. Bekkerus this week. That video I recorded on Thursday, so this is a little more swollen when you watch when I talked to those two. And I had this bandage because it was still bleeding. Like, I didn't want to get blood on things, so for a day and a half I was still bandaging my hand. This is the worst. It looks like someone took a belt sander and sanded the knuckle off my thumb. It's nasty. It's healing, but it's just gross. And I'm sore and I'm scraped up places. I was embarrassed. There was nobody else out there. They didn't see me. If they did, they heard a choice word come out of my mouth as I went down. I walked my bike back up to the car and went home. Dripped blood all along the way. It was bad. I only got 4.3 miles biking that day. And since that day, like the last 3 days, I've eaten like garbage. So it's not going well. Week 1 is not going well. I met my goal miles-wise. I ended up doing 12.5 miles this week. And my goal was 12. So I got to eat better and I got to be smarter with the bike. The next biking is supposed to be Wednesday. So here's what I did. I went into, this is the whole point of this. I want to explain the scratch on my face and then tell you. So I went to AI. This is my thing now. And I put in the story. Like I put in what happened. I rode a bike, went off the cement path. It was wet, tried to get back on, wiped out basically. So this is the prompt I put. It's the prompt I put into this AI video creator. Let me show you what it came up with. So I've got 2 recreations for you of my accident. Ready? Here's the first one. I'm going to cut to it here. First one. This is the AI version. And yeah, I screen recorded it because I was not going to pay to download this garbage. You can see what I'm talking about. So I put the prompt in. I wrote what happened into it. And this is the video it created. Are you ready for this? This is awesome. What? Where'd I go? It's not that funny, but really AI. This is your here. I think it'll play twice if I go back here. Yeah, here we go. And gone. One more time. Yeah. All right. So that's recreation number 1. Now that's fancy AI, all kinds of computer. Here's a second recreation for you that I did myself. Ready? This is my Lego clone trooper on a motorcycle recreation of what happened on Thursday. Let's see if I can get the camera to work. It's my back camera, so I got to get it up here. Ready? Here's what happened. Here's my recreation. There you go. There you go. I think my recreation was better than the fancy AI one. I just have to prove the AI is, while it's the du jour right now, it's garbage still. And now it won't be, I'm sure it'll get fixed, but it's garbage right now. There you go. That's what happened this week. I hope your week's been a little better than mine. All right. On that note, let's go to announcements, whatever. Updates. Boom.
Update.
So here's your updates and announcements. I don't have a whole lot. We'll talk summer bands, summer schedule. You got the letter in the mail. I've seen the reminds coming in. I've gotten some Allstate people who have emailed me, and I haven't emailed you back yet, but I will. Thank you for emailing me. I will get back to you when I get a couple more of you, and I'll get a lesson schedule together. So keep signing up the remind. Send me emails if you're trying for Allstate. Let's get that taken care of. Summer concessions, our next concession stands not till July 8th. And there's a bunch of you working that one. I'll send an email reminder out later. Also, in the letter, it talks about the website. I think especially if you're a freshman. So if you're a section leader right now watching this, will you make sure your freshmen out there, at least tell them to go to this part of the video? Because here's the website that's on there. And for the summer, it's going to be really important. You've got, first of all, I linked to the playlist for the videos here. There's the cheddar up stuff. And those freshmen sometimes get confused on upperclassmen, section leaders. Make sure they understand what they need to order. Freshmen need to order a hat and a shirt. They can order shoes. Anybody can order shoes. But some of them can go find their own shoes. They've got to be all black. If you're not a freshman and you still have your hat from last year, you just need to order a shirt. You can order a hat if you lost yours. You can order shoes if you need new shoes. This is just a supply list I put up there for the Amazon links if you want to buy reeds and stuff on your own. If these don't work, like if you go to this and this link doesn't work, please let me know so I can fix it. Here's the shows I went through a couple weeks ago. That's a Google Doc. There's your student leadership. There's the school calendar for the year for all band activities. I'm talking all the way through to the end of the year. So that one's important for family. Like, get that now. Will it change through the year? It might. It probably will a little bit, but at least you have an idea of what's going on. And here's the summer schedule. So they're all linked on this website, the 2025 MMB website. You've also got the Remind stuff here. We're going to have 2 web stores again this year. They're just Monarch Band stuff for family and whatnot. I will put those on here as well. So just so you know, that's what that website is for. It's really important. So like I said, especially freshmen, make sure they make sure they're going there. Okay, I've got a long conversation. I may have to edit it down. We talked a long time with Mr. Bekkerus, Mr. Meyer. So let's get on with our leadership. Thought number 1.
Thought number 1.
Okay, here's thought number 1 is our leadership. And I've got Mr. Bekkerus and Mr. Meyer here. Everybody say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, that was full of energy and enthusiasm. Very good. I've got a little wonky. Like, the video is going to look terrible because I've got 3 Google Meets and I'm trying to put my video on top of it. So I apologize for how stupid this looks. So what you guys been up to? What's your summer been like so far?
I've been golfing a lot. I've done some projects around my house. We just got a fence put in May, so I've been doing some yard work around that and sanding down my deck to make it look nice again and all kinds of fun homeowning stuff.
You're adulting.
Yeah, I am.
How about
I
you?
remember having a deck once and having to sand it. That's a labor of love for your deck.
Yeah, decks are a pain.
I've been super busy with my boys. It's we're kind of coming up on the tail end of baseball season, so June was a lot of chauffeuring to baseball practices, and then taking the boys here and there, Bible school and band lessons and doctor's appointments, whatever you name it. So it's been good. I made the mistake of getting out my basketball, baseball, football card collection from when I was a kid.
That is a mistake.
That is a mistake. So
I'm looking at mine right over there, and I hasn't been touched in a few years. But
so I kind of reinvigorated my collection. I was an avid Reggie Miller collector as a kid, and so I kind of started collecting that again, along with the other cards I collected were Michael Jordan specifically.
so I'm not a big NHL fan. So what hockey team do those 2 play for?
They don't.
I'm not that stupid.
So I've been going.
Did the NBA Finals
Oh man,
did that inspire this? Looking back at
it was actually not really. We were in Des Moines a few weeks ago for a baseball tournament, and we went to a card shop, and then one thing led to another, and I'm like, once a week I just go visit.
Card shops exist still?
They do. They are thriving. Actually, you'd be surprised. It's a little different than what I remember as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely there's a lot more money in it now than there used to be. So it's been kind of interesting catching up on that, but I'm more into it for the what am I looking for? I'm just being a kid again, you know.
Is it like, so Mr. Bekkerus can give me some insight here, him being of a different generation. Is it like, I'm going to relate it to my world here around me. The Transformers collectibles are huge right now because people our age are now in middle age and we've got a little more expendable cash, right? So is that why there's kind of, because when I was in middle school, man, holy cow, that would have been early 90s, late 80s, right? Baseball cards was everything. Like, my little town of 1,000 people I went to high school in, Gallery, Iowa, had a card shop. Like, they were everywhere. So Mr. Bekkerus, was cards a big deal when you were that age or not? Or is this like skipping a generation because the people who did it are now middle-aged?
I would say it was a thing growing up, but it wasn't anything like we weren't like devout card people. Like, we wouldn't go, sell newspapers on the side of the street and then take our quarters down and buy a new pack of cards,
Right.
or anything like
Right.
that. I definitely think it's more like what you were talking about. Like, those kids now are adults with adult money and they can go, just buy things with their adult money. And so there's definitely there seems to be more of a following with like the the one of five type of baseball cards that are
Mm,
selling for thousands of dollars.
hmm. That's
Like
why.
there's a Paul Skeens one that I think has part of like a game worn jersey that's like one of three that just sold for like $3,000 or something like that.
So they're
So
kind of NFTing the business, right? Like they're making these. Oh, we're only gonna make two of these or something like that, just to
yes.
kind of inflate the value. That's right now. I've been once a year, and I'm in that phase right now. I'm thinning out. I thin out my collection here because now's the time. You know what I mean? Like, because I can take this stuff on eBay and make money off of it because idiots like me are on eBay buying it. Where 10, 20 years from now, this stuff ain't going to be worth near as much because, well, maybe it will be. In 30 or 40 years, I won't be alive in 30 or 40 years. Who am I kidding?
Well, 2020, I think, kind of reinvigorated because everyone was sitting around with nothing to do and they got their collections out. And so
Yeah.
it kind of like, I think it kind of did skip Peter's generation somewhat. Yeah, I remember I had an hour-long bus ride in the morning to get to school.
Yeah.
So my middle school years, we all traded cards. Like there was a card shop in Cherokee where I grew up, in the basement of it was a old building on Main Street. But like I love that place. I love going there, and so since 2020, it's gotten back in. And so
Hmm.
yeah, people our age, we remember that and like, oh, I want to get back into it. But it's definitely a lot more higher price now. And like
Right.
I even saw yesterday, like a box of unopened packs of whatever from 90. They want to sell it for several $100s.
Wow. Should have
It's
kept
just
some of those unopened, I guess, huh?
yeah.
Surprised how many people like stream on Twitch or anything like that. They're literally just opening packs of cards.
Wow.
Like hundreds of people are watching them open packs of cards.
It's part of that is some people my age are like that is stupid. People are doing that online and watching it. And someone the other day said something to me like, "Do you believe this person's got a channel? All he does is like open stuff." I'm like, I'd rather them have a channel doing that than a lot of other things right now. Like that is the least of our problems that someone's out there opening packages on YouTube. All right, good times. Let's get on to leadership. What's one I didn't ask ahead of time, so I'm hoping you came up with what's one leadership concept. We'll start with Mr. Bekkerus that you think is important.
I think my most important concept of leadership is relationship building. Just in my, I think I just completed my 6th year of teaching, and what I've found through those 6 years is doesn't matter how good of a teacher I think I am or how good of kids I think I have. If I don't have that relationship built with the kids, there's not much that we're going to get accomplished just because they don't have the trust in me to just go along with what I'm saying and all that stuff. So that's the most important part to me.
Now here's a second kid in class you call on who's now going, God, that's what I was gonna say. Or how about you?
So I just got done reading a book. I usually in the summertime I read a book on leadership, and I just got done reading one called Leaders Eat Last. And what I found interesting, and I guess this would be more for section leaders, but it talked about really once more leaders empower others to come up with ideas or solve problems or fix issues, the more buy-in there is, and it just spreads, right? And so one of the things that I appreciate about the way that we run our marching band is you give the drum majors and section leaders a lot of that power to do that, and I think that's what sets us apart. So it was just kind of a reminder. I mean, it's all stuff I've read before, but it was just a reminder of how important that is, and how important our leadership team, and what they do. I mean, you can't run this organization without them and without empowering them, because as directors, like, we can't put out all those fires and do all those things. So for us to be our best and run efficiently and to create that buy-in amongst everybody, empowering that leadership team is super important.
It's the one thing. If you look at, I mean, I think with 100% accuracy, if you look at successful, I was gonna say band programs, but I would go any program. It could be a sports team, anything, NBA team. Like it, look at any team activity in any level. It's the one thing they all have in common is it's not technical skills necessarily, though they probably are good at that. It's the leadership, right? Like it's what you guys are saying. Like, it's, do you focus on that, or is it just one person at the top giving commands and telling you to do this and being, I'll use air quotes, old school. Like, so.
Well, and usually the people, the one thing the book it talked about, it gave a scenario of um, a Navy guy who basically took over the worst submarine and turned it into the highest performing one. And um, the part that caught me was like, they were just big into giving commands, and he gave a command and nothing happened. It was and they said, "Aye, aye, Captain," or whatever, and nothing happened. But it was because that submarine, he didn't realize he was new on it. That submarine didn't have the capabilities to do what he was telling. And so, but no one questioned him, or no one, because of just,
The culture.
You follow it. And that's when what turned that around was when he realized that, everybody else knew it wasn't going to happen, but that's the orders. You can't, go against it. And so that really struck a chord with me of like how important it is to empower people, because the section leaders or even the members, they know more about what's going on than we do. They know.
Yeah, that was, if you caught last week, Samuel kind of hit on that without, I don't prompt these guys. So it's nice to hear like Samuel talking about, being understanding what's going on in your section. So you're right. Like they know, I don't know. I don't want to know. And not that I don't care, but they don't want me to know. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in their business. They don't want me in their business. So that's why that student leadership is so important. They're the missing link. They're the thing that links them together.
Yeah, they're empowered to fix those things that we really have no business meddling in, then all the better. It makes our jobs more efficient too. It's a win-win.
And you can't do that without what Mr. Bekkerus is saying. You can't do that without relationships. Like you just can't do it. All right, so we'll go back to Mr. Bekkerus. Never let them take away your pride. What does that what does that mean to you?
So I think that saying came about like right after I was out of high school.
I believe you're correct. I believe your brother,
So-
maybe your sister too, was still in high school.
I think both of them might have still been in high school, but that saying to me, like from a graduated person's standpoint, and hearing that, it resonated a lot with me. I know, over the years, our program, like as good as we've gotten it to, and how successful we've been, I I still think back, like my favorite story is when we went and did an assault band for another team, and they, you know, just assaulted us verbally with things that wasn't necessary. It didn't make them feel good. It didn't make us feel good, and it was pointless. But the point of it was it made our band come closer together. Like, we're a family, and we're proud of what we do as a band and how we are as people and our character and all those things. Like, it just seeing that from the graduated perspective is like, oh yeah, I really didn't have to think about that in high school, but now being out of the program, I really appreciate everything that we did.
Dirty little secret. It's my favorite part of hosting large group is our students seeing how other students not just perform but act. And I don't mean just negative. Like they see the positive too. But when they see other groups being just that band, you know what I'm saying? They're like they understand that. Oh, that's why we're, hate to use the term better than them, but they see that, and that's one of my favorite things about hosting IHSMA contest is getting our students to see the other students kind of in action. So that's good. All right, Mr. Meyer.
That was kind of the angle that I was going to take. I think the one thing that we talk about a lot in high school, and I think we don't talk about it as directly in middle school, but it's definitely a big part of what we do, is developing people, and we use music as our medium through which we do that. So kind of like you said, it's how we go about things, how our students handle things, how we handle successes and setbacks, and it's not necessarily always about the placing, rating, whatever, but it's about the journey and what we learn through that. Fortunately, those ratings and placings have been good for us lately, but they're a byproduct of what's going on behind that. And so the thing that sticks in my mind is like this last year, District Jazz coming in second, and instead of just erupting I know there was a little bit of an eruption of emotions later, but that announcement of how mature they handled that, like that was totally first class. And um, I think
It's
that's
a
just
whole
really
act like you've been there before mentality, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and that's something that I think is missing with. Maybe it's always been this way, but I feel it with the generation today, the social media, putting stuff out there and kind of being braggadocious about that. And that's I like that. That's just not who we are. We take it in stride because when you do that sort of stuff, it creates animosity amongst others, and yeah, it feels good for you, but it really does nothing to put yourself in a positive light. So, I think that was kind of the angle that at which that it kind of takes it hits me the most. So
It's and a couple of the other drum majors I think mentioned like took that angle too. It's not about proud of the performance, it's which is good, but proud of the other stuff. You know how you represent yourself. I think Layla talked about having pride in yourself and how you present yourself on stage. All right, very good. Here you go. 10 questions. So we'll ask you both the same question. Here we go. Ready? We'll start, Mr.
you go
Bekkerus.
first.
Mr. Bekkerus will go first.
All right.
That way you can be accused of copying his answer. Because you're older, you need more time to think.
No problem.
All right, what's your Hogwarts house?
Gryffindor.
Mr. Meyer has no idea.
I don't watch Harry
Oh,
Potter.
okay.
Oh no.
Do you, just
I have no
alienated
clue.
2/3 of the
He can
students
read
out
and
there.
watch it, but I don't.
He's,
All right.
he's definitely a Hufflepuff. Or no, Ravenclaw. He's a Ravenclaw.
I'm Ravenclaw. I'm gonna guess he's either Slytherin or
Oh,
Ravenclaw.
Can I count the lair for the Ninja Turtles?
No, that is not Hogwarts house. Okay. 2. Favorite junk food.
Doritos.
Which flavor?
Just the regular nacho cheese.
Okay.
flavor.
Ooh, junk food. Chocolate.
I gave you more time to think, and you come up with chocolate. All right. Sorry, no judgments. Sorry, no judgments. All right. 3rd. What is one thing that really annoys you?
Oh. People that act like they know something, but they're just completely faking it.
You live in an interesting time, sir. All right, Mr.
Yeah.
Meyer.
Oh. I would say neediness.
Okay, all right. All right.
Really needy.
4. What? These are terrible. What would you name your pet dragon?
I'd probably go after the book, the Aragon.
I thought you were gonna say that. Actually, I don't know why, but Mr. Meyer.
Again, I don't know.
Bob. All right. 5. Which Ooh. You can't. Okay, I'm gonna rephrase this. Which coworker do you learn the most from, excluding current coworkers?
Excluding current coworkers. So my first year teaching up at Hartley Melvin Sanborn, my mentor was a guy named Russ Spear. He taught the high school and middle school like industrial tech classes, and he was one of the smartest guys I know. He taught me so much about how the building operated and just living in that small town life. And I'm still really good friends with him and his wife. His wife was the guidance counselor there, so they
Excellent.
made me feel like I was at home.
Mine is so when my first 2 years of teaching, I got to teach with the Catholic school. I got to teach with a guy that I had as a teacher in high school. His name is Steve Blair. He taught like social studies, psychology, in Cherokee. And he was also girls basketball coach, head basketball coach, and coach softball. And brilliant mind, especially when it comes to coaching. In fact, we still talk a few times a year and stay close. So he's kind of like a father figure to me.
Nice. All right. 6. Do you find handlebar mustaches to be handsome?
No.
No,
I hate this. Mustaches are in. Like, you guys notice that?
they look cool, but no.
They do. I hate them so much. It looks
I admire just the fact that you can do that, but
Jeez.
I don't understand. Like, why would you just want this and
That
none of
doesn't
this?
make sense. No, I not a fan. Not a fan of the mustache fad right now. 7. What are your favorite clothes?
Just athletic shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, same here.
8. Would you rather travel to the past or to the future?
Future.
Ooh, so now that I'm 40 and clearly in my 41 in my midlife crisis era, I would say past. I'd go back to my 10-year-old self.
Wow. Okay.
That's why I go to the shops.
What was that?
That's why I go to the card shops.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, you make some money then. 9. What was your last Halloween costume?
Was a caddy, like a golfer's caddy, and my wife was the golfer.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you had to be with somebody.
Yes.
We were minions. I think it was Cooper this last Halloween was Gru, and so Mallory and I were minions.
Oh, nice, nice. All right, last question. When I dance, I look like blank.
I like to think I look pretty cool, so we'll just say we'll go with cool.
Good.
Outdated.
Okay. I look like an idiot.
Relevant.
So. All right. Hey, thanks, guys. This is a long one today, but that's okay. I don't got much else to talk about, so it'll take up most of the video. So hope most of the students have already they're not watching anymore. They stopped after 3 minutes in. They're like, whatever. All right. So thanks for joining us today. And now it's time for thought number 2.
Thought number 2.
Okay. Here's your thought number 2. I've used this before in class. I know I have, but this one lives rent free in my head. Like you wouldn't believe how many times I think about this. It's bad, but it's a mind bender. Colors, and you guys have heard this, so you're gonna roll your eyes. But I'm on this. Colors, like when I see, for instance, here's a bottle, right? It's green. Right, green. If you're not colorblind, which maybe you are, and I'm sorry, this means nothing to you. But everybody says if you can see colors, you say that's green. No doubt, right? We all say green. What if what I see as green, you see as my red, or blue, or orange? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm pointing to this color. What we all see, we've been told is green. But what if your eyes, when you see this, you actually see what I think is pink? You just been, someone pointed this, said it was green. It's green. So to you, it is green. But what if your colors are all different than mine? We'll never know. I can't, right? Because all I could ask you, what color is this cup? You get blue, purple, whatever. But what if you see it different? Wouldn't it explain also why some people have a hard time matching colors? Because they don't see colors the same. Saying it's a thing. Colors. Hey, I don't like this one. So we're gonna go. I think next week. I think I'm done experimenting. I think next week we're going back to the old school rock one. Guys, I hope you had a good week. Summer's almost over for me. 4th of July next week, and then summer band starts. And I'm legit. It's gonna be a good year. I'm really looking forward to getting this year started. So have a great 4th of July week next week, and we'll see you soon.
The soul of talk, the rhythm sweet. Announcements and 2 thoughts aligned. A podcast groove that's so divine.
Peace.